7. American trucks, zero computer chips, all under $10,000. A new F-250 starts at $47,295, and it has more computing power than a fighter jet. But scattered across Craigslist and farm roads are trucks that do 90% of the same work, and the only things they need to run are diesel, oil, and a wrench. Detroit killed these machines not because they failed, but because the replacements were more profitable. So why is nobody talking about the trucks they replaced? Number 1. The Ford F-250 with the 6.9-liter IDI diesel is the baseline. For what a real work truck looks like when no computer chips get anywhere near the fuel system. Under the hood sits a Stanadyne DB and later DB-II. Mechanical injection pump, no sensors, no wires, just a cam-driven heart that meters diesel through 8 steel lines, each one feeding a cylinder the old-fashioned way. Factory spec: 170 horsepower, 345 pound-feet of torque, and a mechanical fuel shutoff you can work with a pair of pliers if the solenoid ever sticks. No engine control unit, no onboard diagnostics port, not a single circuit board in the fuel system. The price reality is even more defiant. Clean running examples still trade hands for $3,000 to $8,000, depending on rust and paperwork. That is not a fantasy. Classifieds from Montana to North Carolina show working F-250s with the 6.9 IDI changing hands for less than the price of a set of tires on a new truck. In 1992, a complete dealer injector kit for this engine cost $420. Try finding any part on a modern diesel for less than $500. Good luck. This is the anatomy of mechanical independence. Stanadyne DB or DB-II pump, 8 poppet injectors, a fuel shutoff lever you can flick with your finger. No emissions computer, no diagnostic codes, no dealer-only software. Owner service is a ritual, fuel filters, glow plugs, timing by ear, and a wrench in the driveway. The F-250 6.9-liter IDI is not just affordable, it is proof. Detroit could build a diesel truck that lasts decades and still costs less than a month of payments on a new one. What if the best truck you can buy in 2026 was built 40 years ago? Those are the numbers. But the real story is what is sitting in barns and backlots right now for less than a set of tires on a new truck. In second place, the Ford F-250 with the 7.3-liter IDI naturally aspirated diesel stands as the last gasp of true mechanical muscle before Detroit closed the door for good. This is the truck that raised the bar up to 185 horsepower and 358 pound-feet of torque without letting a single silicon chip near the fuel lines, as long as you choose the manual gearbox. The Borg-Warner T19 and ZF 5-speed manuals kept every ounce of control in the driver's hands, while the Stanadyne DB-II pump delivered diesel to each cylinder without a whisper of electronic interference. But here is where the trap was set. Ford started pairing these engines with the E4OD automatic, an electronically controlled transmission that smuggled in computer modules through the back door. One wrong VIN or transmission code, and you are suddenly in the land of ECUS and proprietary diagnostics. March 1993 brought a memo from inside Ford's own engineering department, a quiet confession that the new turbocharged 7.3-liter I was deliberately detuned. The so-called sandbag memo spelled out that the turbo's boost curve and fuel map were dialed back, not by mechanical limits, but by corporate strategy. The goal was to keep emissions in check, but also to keep warranty costs and regulatory headaches to a minimum. The engine could do more, but Detroit did not want it to. Power was left on the table, and buyers got less than what the hardware could deliver, all in the name of compliance and margin. For those who know what to look for, the manual transmission naturally aspirated 7.3-liter IDI is still out there, but the window is closing. Prices today run from $4,000 to $9,000 for a solid running truck. That is not a Craigslist fantasy. That is real money changing hands from Montana ranches to Carolina job sites. But with each passing year, more of these trucks get scrapped, or worse, passed off with a lurking E4OD and a hidden control box under the dash. The lesson is clear. If you want a chip-free 7.3, you check the shifter first, then the VIN, then the transmission code. The stakes are higher, the traps are set, and the numbers are getting thin. Detroit did not just move on, they replaced independence with dependency and charged triple. The archive says it plain: more torque, more risk, and a shrinking pool of real trucks that belong to their owners, not the software. The clock is running. Number 3, the Dodge W250 with the 5.9-liter 12-valve Cummins is the cult icon that rewrote the rules for blue-collar torque and mechanical longevity. Under the hood, the heart of this legend is the Bosch Viv-E rotary injection pump, purely mechanical, no wires, no sensors, and not a single computer chip anywhere in the fuel system. This is the engine you can time by ear, tune with a wrench, and keep running with parts you can still buy at the local diesel shop. The sound is unmistakable, a sharp metallic whistle from the governor as the VE pump meters fuel with every stroke, a noise that signals real work is getting done. But every myth has its flaw, and for the 12-valve Cummins, it is the dowel pin buried in the timing case, a 10-cent piece of steel that can, and often does, vibrate loose and drop straight into the cam gears. When that happens, the result is catastrophic: bent valves, shattered timing covers, and sometimes a ruined block. The fix is a $50 killer dowel pin kit, installed in an afternoon, that locks the pin in place and saves an entire engine from the scrap pile. This is the kind of problem Detroit's new trucks would diagnose with a code and a $1,000 scan tool. Here, it is solved with a socket set and a little bit of nerve. The market knows what it has. Project-grade W250s with the 12-valve Cummins still change hands for $7,000 to $10,000, usually with rust, high miles, and a list of chores. Anything clean, low mileage, or already restored has shot past $17,000 and is climbing fast. The days of finding a running, drivable 12-valve for under $10,000 are ending, squeezed by collectors, flippers, and the slow drip of trucks lost to neglect. But the reason these rigs linger below $10,000 is simple. They are honest, mechanical projects, not showpieces. Every time a dowel pin is fixed, another truck survives. Every time a project is pulled from a fence row and put back on the road, it is a small act of defiance against an industry that decided owner control was bad for business. The W250 12-valve Cummins is not just a torque monster, it is a symbol of what Detroit left behind when it traded rebuildable machines for profit margins and proprietary code. The legend is real, but the supply is shrinking. If you want one, the window is closing. Number 4. The Chevy and GMC K20 with the 6.2-liter Detroit diesel is the backbone of American municipal fleets and rural work crews. This truck earned its keep not with flash, but with relentless, clock-punching labor. Under the hood, the 6.2 runs a fully mechanical Stanadyne DB2 injection pump, no sensors, no wires, no black boxes. Every drop of fuel is metered by a cam and a rack, not a circuit board. This is the truck that powered snowplows in upstate New York, water departments in Texas, and utility crews from coast to coast, sometimes for 20 years or more, outlasting the logos on the doors and the men who first drove them. The numbers do not lie. Factory output was 130 horsepower and 240 pound-feet of torque, but what mattered was the low-end grunt, the kind that gets a loaded trailer across a muddy job site or drags a broken-down tractor out of a ditch. The K20's mechanical heart means every failure is a physical problem: a leaky injector line, a worn-out lift pump, a tired glow plug relay. Not a single ECU to scan, not a single proprietary code to decipher. If it will not start, you grab a wrench and a voltmeter, not a laptop. For buyers willing to accept faded paint and a dented bed, running K20 diesels still change hands for $4,000 to $8,000 at city auctions and in the classifieds. These are not collector's items, they are tools, still working, still fixable, still free from the grip of dealer-only software. The reason these trucks linger under $10,000 is not nostalgia, it is that they deliver hard labor on a budget, with parts catalogs thicker than a phone book and a repair manual you can actually understand. Detroit did not walk away from these trucks because they stopped working. They walked away because mechanical reliability and owner service do not drive revenue. The K26.2-liter is not just an old workhorse, it is a reminder that durability and independence were once standard equipment. In an era of planned obsolescence, these trucks are the last stubborn holdouts, and their numbers are fading fast. Number 5. The Chevy CUCV M1208 is the surplus legend that slipped out of the Pentagon and into the hands of anyone with a few $1,000s and a little auction savvy. Built from 1984 to 1987 for the US military, the M108 was never meant to win beauty contests or haul soccer teams. It was engineered for war, stripped of every electronic luxury, and designed so a 19-year-old with a stamped field manual could keep it running in the mud with nothing but hand tools. Under the hood sits a 6.2-liter Detroit diesel 5.8 engine, driven by a Stanadyne DB2 mechanical injection pump. No sensors, no chips, no black boxes, just fuel metered by a cam and rack. Same as the civilian K20, but with even fewer frills. The Army ordered these trucks with one goal: survive, repair, repeat. The price of entry is still almost laughable. When the Defense Logistics Agency began offloading these rigs in the early 2000s, thousands hit the civilian market for $2,000 to $8,000, less than the sales tax on a new Silverado. The DLA's own resale documents read like a clearance sale. M1008, running, as is, $2,300. Technical manual 9-2320-289-20 included. That technical manual became the Bible for every surplus buyer. It spells out in plain language and crude diagrams how to diagnose a no-start, bleed injectors, swap glow plugs, and even bypass the starter relay with a screwdriver. The CUCV's wiring harness is a rat's nest of military logic, but every circuit is mapped, every relay can be traced, and there is not a single computer anywhere in the system. But there is a catch. Civilian titling can be an adventure. These trucks often arrive with a government surplus bill of sale and a VIN that does not always play nice with state DMVS. Patience, paperwork, and sometimes a sympathetic clerk are the price of mechanical freedom. For those who get through it, the reward is a truck that costs less than a set of tires on a new half-ton, runs on diesel and stubbornness, and can be rebuilt with parts from a farm supply catalog. The CUCV M108 is not just a bargain, it is a living artifact of a maintenance culture built on discipline and self-reliance, a culture that is vanishing as fast as the surplus stock. In a world of dealer-only software and proprietary code, this is the cheapest path left to real mechanical ownership. The only thing standing between you and a chip-free future is a government auction and a willingness to read the manual. Number 6. The Chevy Squarebody. K10 and K20 with the carbureted 350 stands as the gasoline answer to the mechanical diesel era. A truck that farmers and small-town mechanics still tune by ear, not by laptop. Under the wide, flat hood sits a small block V8 fed by a Rochester Quadrajet, or, on some early models, a Carter BBD. No sensors, no control modules, no digital anything. Just a cast-iron intake, a mechanical fuel pump, and a carburetor you can rebuild on a picnic table. The entire fuel delivery system is mechanical. Rebuild kits for these carbs run less than $50, and you can swap jets or adjust the float with a screwdriver and a set of feeler gauges. That's not theory. It's the Saturday morning ritual in farm shops from Nebraska to Maine. Prices are the last line of defense. Running, drivable square bodies with the 350 often list between $4,000 and $10,000 in the classifieds, especially if you are willing to accept faded paint or a cracked dash. These trucks aren't museum pieces. They're still plowing snow, hauling hay, and dragging boats out of lakes. The carbureted square body is the last American truck where a rebuild is a $50 parts run, not a $1,000 dealer invoice. When the fuel stops flowing, it's a clogged jet, not a failed sensor. The owner can fix it right there, with parts from any auto store in the country. There is a reason these rigs outlasted their designers. The Squarebody 350 isn't just cheap. It's a symbol of economic self-defense, a gasoline workhorse that never needed a chip to earn its keep. In the shadow of Detroit's digital takeover, it remains the most accessible path to mechanical ownership. The only thing between you and a running truck is a carb kit and the will to get your hands dirty. Number 7. The Jeep CJ7 with the AMC 258 inline-6 stands as the last outpost for pure mechanical independence in a world that has been overrun by silicon and software. Built from 1976 to 1986, this rig is the smallest, most nimble machine on the list, yet it delivers a lesson in ownership that no modern truck can touch. Under the hood, the AMC 258 runs a simple Carter BBD carburetor and a vacuum distributor, no ECU, no sensors, no digital anything. The only computer is the one between your ears. Timing? Set it with a wrench and a timing light. Idle mixture? Turn the screw until it sounds right. If it runs rough, the fix is a $10 gasket, not a $1,000 module. In the real world, these Jeeps still change hands for $5,000 to $9,000, less than the cost of a single infotainment screen on a new pickup. Classifieds in every state show running CJ7s, sometimes rough, sometimes restored, but always fixable. This is the truck teenagers film themselves tuning on YouTube, swapping spark plugs and rebuilding carbs with parts from the local auto store. The AMC 258 is the engine you can hand down, generation to generation, along with the socket set and the family stories. There is a reason the CJ7 has outlived its designers. It is not just nostalgia, it is the fact that anyone with basic tools and a willingness to learn can keep one alive. Valve lash, carburetor jets, distributor advance, every adjustment is mechanical, visible, and reversible. When something breaks, you can see it, touch it, fix it. No cryptic codes, no dealer-only diagnostics, no monthly software fees. The Jeep CJ7 is the last American truck where mechanical literacy means true independence. But the window is closing. Every year, more of these rigs disappear, parted out, rusted away, or snapped up by collectors who see them as investments instead of tools. The next generation of mechanics is learning from TikTok and Instagram, not from the old-timers who could set timing by ear. The culture of driveway repairs, of family projects passed down, is fading into the rearview. The price outrage that opened this story comes full circle here. 40 years ago, a CJ7 cost less than 2 months' pay for a blue-collar worker. Today, you can still find one for under $10,000 if you move fast. But the lesson is clear: Detroit did not just improve the truck, it replaced independence with dependency and charged triple. What if the best truck you can buy in 2026 was built in 1986? What if the last real freedom on 4 wheels is sitting in a barn right now, waiting for someone to care? Your grandfather fixed his truck in the driveway with a toolbox. Your grandson will need a software subscription. These 7 trucks are the last machines that belong to the person who bought them, and the clock is running. Across all 7 survivors, one pattern burns through. Detroit didn't just make trucks smarter, it replaced independence with dependency and charged triple. Those are the numbers. But the real story is what's sitting in barns and back lots right now for less than a set of tires on a new truck. Your grandfather fixed his truck in the driveway with a toolbox. Your grandson will need a software subscription. These 7 trucks are the last machines that belong to the person who bought them. And the clock is running.